What are your names? Tell us about yourselves.
I'm Hillary
I'm Jake.
Karstens. We've been married for 5 years. I work at the hospital just once a week,
And I'm at PT school.
and we have 2 beautiful babies.
Nice. Speaking of marriage, how do you guys stay committed to your marriage? To
Just
each other and as the marriage as a whole.
well, just trying to be supportive of each other's
Make time.
goals and
Make time for each other and communicate. Although I am not the best at that, but
no, we both work on it. It's a difficult thing.
definitely keeping a line of communication.
Um,
I don't know, it just works because we want it and make it work.
I like to always just text him, like when I'm going somewhere or if I'm doing something, so that he just knows, like a courtesy text, so that he can just still feel involved, like a part of what we're doing. Like if we're going to the zoo or something and he can't be there, at least he knows.
At least I know that
the
that's where they're
families
going to be.
doing something. But for each other specifically, we like, after we get the kids in bed, that's the best time for us to be able to get together. If he has his homework done and stuff, we like to watch shows and sometimes just talk, but the usual.
How do you nurture your marriage? I know it goes with the same question then.
Well, one of the things we're trying to do, and still it's always work in progress, is always make sure to say prayers together before bed, because I know that the next day is going to be better, especially if he's got a hard test or something. It's hard. We want to be able to be there to support each other and pray for each other, and so to nurture each other, I think it's important to understand each other's needs, and so when we pray, we're asking for the Spirit to help us to know what those needs are, and just for peace, and to be able to communicate effectively with each other, because that's what's important.
And we try to go on dates, but that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it just turns into like a family date where we just bring everybody, but we
It's still
try
nice.
and spend time together as a family. At least go to dinner and just have fun and talk and
How does your spouse influence you?
How does she not? Like
You're so nice.
every decision, every thought. It's usually all centered around Hillary and the kids.
They have needs. They're little. Influence. Jake is so hardworking, especially with him being in grad school and being able to juggle the family life and marriage. He really works to make a point to be able to help me, because you know how hard it is after being with the kids all day and then him being in school all day. He comes home and he'll still try to help me make dinner, which is something I don't love doing.
Which I usually
But
end up
he
doing.
does really good. And so for me, he shows me that love and supports me by helping me with dinner and getting the kids in bed. Just knowing that that's a difficult thing. And I also try to kind of reciprocate it when knowing if he's extra busy, that I need to try to do that myself and let him have more time to study. So we just have to make it work together.
Yeah. And I tried to do the same things for her, like let her. I'll watch the kids or something so she can sleep when she works a night shift or in preparation for a night shift.
Just to take a shower.
Run the house so she can take a shower or whatnot, or just whatever she needs. Because she does all the home battles, and I just sort of look smart on paper.
He's
So,
really smart in everything.
Do you guys still court each other in your marriage? If so, how do you do that?
So dates are difficult to come by as far as like dating and a courtship, just because he's in school, and since he's in school, the only time I can work is on weekends, and so typically a Saturday night. So Friday nights are usually our available nights, but it also depends on how we're feeling and how the kids are feeling too, and then of course babysitters. But we like to.
go on dates.
We like to go to our favorite restaurant is Smitty's. I can get gluten-free pancakes there, and he has no objections to going there, even if we get the same thing every time we go.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to go to eat there because we know that we can eat there, and it's just a nice little family place. But
Yeah, and Hillary's love language is quality time, and acts of service. So just doing little things like unload the dishwasher or sweep the floor or
just making it easier for me.
yeah,
He's gonna
something to make it easier for her, and then we'll watch a TV show, or do something together. So lately that's been what is it? Bones. Yeah, sleep
Sorry,
deprivation. Yeah, we're both just so done.
And Jake likes to just be together, you know, whatever we can do.
Awesome. How do you use the family proclamation in your life, in your family? Or what do you get from the family proclamation?
Just really, well, I think it's good knowing that it sets not necessarily guidelines, but it sets a standard. Like this is
Kind of an
this
expectation.
is what this is what we are. This is what we believe. This is how our family and our marriage is. And
I appreciate a proclamation because I feel like in today's society, people, you know, there's so many different norms now. There is no just normal thing as far as marriage and family life and what like even our kids can expect. So like Jake was saying, the proclamation helps us know like what a family should be as centered around Christ and the expectations for our children. I think I love that, you know, it's like marriage is essential between a man and wife, so that we can receive the blessings that Heavenly Father has for us, and that's His plan is for a man and a woman to be together, to have a family, and to raise them in love, and to be able to teach them about the gospel, so that they can be able to someday have their own families. And I think the way that we structure our lives around the proclamation helps us set our family's future up for success, because it's a solid structure of love and what's the word we were?
foundation.
Yeah, it's good.
It's the first thing
Because
that popped
it's-
in my head.
I think it's nice to have something that's so you know is the right thing to do, because there's so many different things as far as like parenting and like opinions and not knowing like what's the right thing to do, and that tells you like straight up how important the family is, and that hopefully someday if our kids see that that's how we chose to raise our family, that they can do the same for them and be able to have that future success as well.
One last question. One word to describe what marriage or family means to you.
It's like climbing a mountain.
That's not one word.
It's hard till you figure it out and get to the top, and then downhill. Once you get things established, it's much easier.
You can also get an amazing view
Yeah.
along the way. I was just thinking amazing, the family life and marriage is amazing. Because it is. It's very difficult. It's like the mountain. You have your ups and downs, and you can't expect it to always be a nice, steady path for you. It kind of gets rocky sometimes, but
And sometimes when
it's
you
worth it. It's worth the climb.
yeah, sometimes when you think you got an easy patch going downhill, you trip and fall down and fall down a few flights of stairs or a few feet.
So
tumble
we
down
just
the
have to
trail.
help each other get back up.
Yeah, and that's where all the good life lessons are.
Where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and I thought I found true love. You found another and you was gone. Okay, are we done?
What are your
Is that
names?
right?
What are your names?
Festus and Lucille. K and J Raymond.
How long have you been married?
28 years.
How does it feel like to be empty nesters?
I don't know. We're not yet. You're not an empty nester until your kids got all their junk out of your basement. Right?
Right. It's fun. I mean, it's fun to spend time together, and
Not have to worry about anybody else.
yeah, we talk a lot more about
You
ev-
do?
everyday things. So, yeah, we do.
How has your relationship changed after your children left?
Less stressful.
Less hurried. We're not always running to something, or we still worry about our kids and what they're doing and what they need, but it is less stressful.
How do you nourish your relationship?
How do we what?
Nourish.
Oh. Spend time together, do things together.
That's what I was gonna say. We found things that we both like to do, and we do it. And even like when we just go to dinner or something, and we just sit and have a conversation. That's just something we never seemed to have time to do before, and now we do. So I enjoy it.
Mention 2 things each that you have learned over the years being married.
About ourselves, you mean?
About yourselves, also as a couple.
2 things.
Don't try to guess what she's thinking. And when it's time to just shut up and get away.
I think one thing that I learned is how important it is to let the other person know how important they are to you. It's something that you just get caught up in life and world, and you forget that. And it's not that you don't think that your spouse is important, but you just forget to tell them or make them understand.
One word that describes what marriage and family means to you.
Satisfaction.
Happiness.
What are your names?
I'm Kai Snedeker, and
Bailey Snedeker.
yep,
How long have you been married?
5 years.
So, what is your religion?
we're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Same.
Same. Yeah.
How does your religion influence your marriage?
I think it strengthens it definitely.
Yep. It's another thing that unifies us together. Just having that religion that we can, I don't know, talk about God, just that whole nother level of connecting to each other.
Yeah.
Um,
And the fact that we don't have to fight over what doctrines are true and is a big help. So.
yeah.
How does your religion help you as a mother?
As a mother, let's see.
No pressure.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Just the fact that Jesus Christ went through so many hard things gives me hope that I can't do the same as he did, but to the full extent, but he knows what I'm going through, and he knows my potential, and he knows that I can get through it, and that if I just humble myself and rely on him, that I can get through anything. So, and even motherhood. Yeah, I think, does that answer the question?
How does your religion help you as a father?
Well, I think going to church every Sunday is a weekly reminder for me how the kind of father and man that I should be. Again, we have our example of Jesus Christ, who is perfect man, or perfect person, really. And so it helps me know where I need to set my bar for as a father, and reminds me constantly of what I can do better, and just strengthens me in my resolve to be a good dad and to want to be. Definitely, yeah.
And I think having the constant gift of the Holy Ghost, it gives us personal revelation from God, and that really helps when we're struggling
Yeah.
and need to know how to help our children.
Yeah.
Prayer as a couple, how does that influence your relationship?
Well, it definitely helps out when you're mad at each other. So, no, but like seriously, yeah, you can have a bad day, just be mad at each other, and just hearing your spouse pray for you, or pray for forgiveness. Definitely. I don't know. I've heard that from different professors and people that helps out. But definitely I see that in our marriage.
As we've practiced it, we've noticed for ourselves that it's helped a lot. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just knowing that, we care enough about each other to talk to Heavenly Father about each other too.
Yeah, definitely after we pray, we can talk it out, and definitely a whole lot more calm, and we've had that minute to breathe, and the Spirit comes in, and you can just talk real.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
One word that describes marriage and family to you.
One word.
One word. What do you think?
Love is love.
I was thinking of just like happiness. It's happiness or joy. Family is what it's all about.
Laughter.
What are
Okay.
your names?
I'm Stephanie Karstens.
I'm John.
How long have you been married?
We've been married almost 11 years.
Yeah.
Confirm. Yes.
How did you guys meet?
Take it away, John.
At school, college.
Yep. He tried to get my attention. It's hard to get my attention. He accidentally signed in front of me American Sign Language. I know American Sign Language. He knows American Sign Language. That's how we ended up together.
What qualities do you like about each other?
Me first?
Yep.
Okay, but you can't say the same ones I say because...
All right.
Qualities I like about John. He is innovative. He can solve any problem. And that's been not only awesome because he solves a lot of our problems, but gives me more confidence. I'm like, if John can do it, then maybe I could do it. So, yeah, I like that you're innovative. How about you do one now, and then I'll do another one. And we go back and forth.
How about I just do all of mine?
Okay.
I like that you're tall,
That's good quality.
match my height, and loving, caring person, and outgoing, so you can answer the phone calls and I don't have to.
Yeah. Those are good
It's like-
qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I like how John is cool, chill, and relaxed. Because I need that in my life. And no drama. He's like the easiest person to live with. And I like that he's pretty funny. Because laughing's important. He knows how to break a tense situation with some laughter, and I think that's super valuable. Super valuable quality to have.
How do you keep the romance in your relationship?
We date every week. We'll tell her why you think it's important.
It's time we just get to spend focus on each other rather than all of our life, kids, or things.
And it's the only time that I'm not mom. I'm Stephanie and he's Jonathan, and we, when we remember that I'm Stephanie and he's Jonathan, and it's not mom and dad, we remember why we fell in love, or the reasons we're together. Life's way easier without kids.
That takes me to the next question. How do you nourish your relationship,
Nourish.
your marriage?
I tease her all the time.
You what?
I tease her all the time.
That nourishes you.
And I hide in closets for long lengths of time to scare her.
I think after 11 years, we know what each other needs. Especially, he knows what I need. And I think he understands, like, I don't know, when I'm struggling, what I need. And he's willing to help me where I need help, rather than wait until it gets crazy.
That's true, that's true. I used to tackle her, but then I figured out that's not what she needs.
Yeah, that's not what I need.
I had to take that out.
Yeah, I try to be aware of his needs too. I don't know if I'm as good at it as he is, but I feel like if I can help contribute to what you need to happen, then life's easier for both of us.
One last question. One word that describes what marriage and love means to you.
Only one word? Companionship. That's hard. One word's hard.
What is mine?
It's a tough one.
Compassion.
I like that one. Passion.
What are your names?
I'm Travis. I'm Becky.
We're the Lundquists.
How long have you been married?
We've been married just a little over 4 years.
That's wonderful. How have trials challenged your marriage?
Well, a little over 4 years and we don't have children yet. So that's always a wonderful trial within itself. But I think for both Travis and I, you just have to focus on things that make you happy versus things that would rather make you sad, depressed, and self-loathing. So you just have to find things that find fulfillment in your life.
How do you turn to each other through those difficult times?
Like, the biggest thing is to be a good listener, because like a lot of times she'll come home from work and she's really upset, and it's just easier for me to just listen to her, comment words of encouragement, or sometimes she'll ask me a question that she'll need an opinion on, and it's just I've just found that if you're a good listener and you try to just focus on your spouse and just kind of give them the attention they need to either to vent or to talk through ideas, they usually feel better afterwards, and knowing that, hey, I've got a supportive spouse to go to when I go home, instead of just, oh, I guess we're just gonna go be on our phones all night because we hate each other and whatnot.
What about you, Becky?
I think besides being a good listener, just being a open communicator can go along with that as well, because always just trying to find the right words to help just describe how you feel inside and just make it vocal rather than internalizing. And like how Travis said, it's just using words and just validating another person's opinion, especially someone who you trust as a spouse.
How do you find healing and strength through the gospel of Jesus Christ?
I'll have you start this one.
Go ahead.
I think always remembering the atonement in our lives, and to always understand that He is there at any time and at any moment of any day to allow you to come unto Him. Whether that is in the midst of chaos, you can always find that peace. And even personally, when I have struggled the most, I'm always taking that moment of silence just for yourself, and just to help recenter yourself always just allows the Spirit to enter within your heart, just to give you that peace of mind, even though you don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. It could be a complete and utter disaster, but at least you have that peace in your heart.
You know, as long as I've been alive, one besides having the atonement, because that's the foundation of everything. But I think what also ties into the atonement is learning how to serve others. I've served in a variety of callings, from being a temple worker to just being a regular instructor, and even then serving in the bishopric and other presidencies. I've learned that when you try to live your life the way that the Savior did, which was in the service of God's children, I've learned two things. One, you're able to forget about your problems just for a minute, because when you're serving other people with a gracious heart, you're happy. You're happier, it just kind of seems like you can just forget about your problems for a minute and just bask in the glory of helping people, or encouraging them in their trials, or celebrating them in their triumphs. And then also the second thing is, when I feel like when I have tried really hard to serve other people, things work out. I think it's by President Kimball, and it says, when your life is founded upon the gospel of Jesus Christ, nothing can ever permanently go wrong. And I feel like when it ties that into serving, it's like, I think just when you're doing what the Lord has asked you to do, so our brothers and sisters, everything's just going to fall into place in His time and in His plan. it just takes a little bit of faith and trust on our part to do what the Lord has asked us to do.
One word to describe what marriage and family means to you.
Adventure. And what I mean by adventure, it's when you first get married, it's a great and glorious day. Everybody's happy, and both of you are just so excited. And very quickly, it can turn into a downpouring rain where you don't really like each other. But that's the whole thing with an adventure. It's like it's going to have its good points and it's going to have its bad points, and that's just part of it. If you can understand that, it's, I don't know, it's fun. Not always, but it is fun. But I would say it's an adventure.
I would have to say mine is sacrifice. Is because I loved it when there was a Q&A with Elder and Sister Bednar, and how Sister Bednar described how sacrifice in the Lord's eyes will always be turned back into, what's the word, Trav?
Sacrifice eventually becomes consecration.
Yes. Where no matter what that you have to give up, whether that is personal time for yourself, or
your spouse,
or your future children, or to your friends, or your time to sleep, even, it'll be rewarded.
What are your names?
Lacey Vecchio.
Jade Vecchio.
How long have you been married?
3 years. In June. This last June. Just had an anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
What do you love most about being married?
I forget what the question was. I'm so sorry.
Question is, what do you love most about being married?
I would say always knowing that you have somebody. Like, no matter what happens, forever and always, Jade's got my back. It's nice having that. But you?
Probably the companionship. On the same lines, just, having a permanent teammate.
Yeah. What have you learned about being married?
Oh, a lot.
You have to be willing to look past what you would consider a flaw and be accepting of your partner as they are, and learn to let things go and be patient.
Let things go and be patient, but also give and take. That something that might be really important to him that I think is silly, well, it's important to him, so you do it anyways. Give and take. Yeah.
How have you overcome challenges together as a married couple?
Communication. It takes a while sometimes, but I think how we've overcome any trials we've had is we've had to get to the point where we could just sit and understand one another. So with communication, it's not just hearing what you're saying yourself and what you think is important there, but really listening to your partner and seeing their point of view and what matters to them in it.
Yeah, I think you answered it in the question. It's together. You solve them together, and you work together, figure out a solution, and you just continue moving forward, one day at a time.
What are some of the fun things that you guys like to do together?
Mountain drives.
Adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our thing. Every weekend, almost every weekend, we're going for a mountain drive, and I think we have a problem. We can't really stay just in the house. Stay still.
No,
We always
anything
have to go do
with
something.
nature. Even if I'm super pregnant, it's usually drives. But we'll go on hikes. We'll go fishing a lot. Getting out in nature has been like our thing that helps us feel connected.
And we watch Survivor
Yes, and we watch Survivor every night. Almost every night.
It's true.
We have a problem.
We've watched every season.
How has that brought you guys together as a couple doing those things together?
It's bonding. It's something that we have in common, so it's something that we get to talk about. It's something we get to look forward to together. Yeah.
It's just for me, you know, that I grew up here and I love sharing the places I used to go. I've gone my whole life, you know, with my wife and with my kids and just
Making those memories brings us
seeing my
closer.
son play in
In the same pond that you
same
did.
places
or-
I
yeah.
played with when I was, you know, his age.
It's pretty cool.
So.
One last question. What is one word that describes what marriage and family means to you?
Forever.
That's what I was gonna say. Ah! Yeah, I was gonna say. Let me see if I can think of another one.
Pain.
Oh, that's his sense of humor. Commitment,
Devotion.
respect.
Ice cream. That's 2 words.
That's a big one for us, though. I think that's all we've got.